in your experience, is the BBC getting better at representing people from diverse backgrounds, and in particular people from working class backgrounds? And just because this section's kind of focusing on that, it might be helpful if you describe what you mean in terms of working class backgrounds. You might spot I've got a northern accent.
Yeah, although northern doesn't mean working class, does it? But yes, no. Well, this is a difficult area of representation, because unlike other areas of underrepresentation, they can often be more visible, not always. But when it's not there, that you see it's not there. And the problem with the definition of working class is that we don't really have one. I think very loosely based, the one we lean into is, what did your parents do when you were 14 years old? That's not a flawless definition. And also the problem that I found, and I was glad to be able to speak about this at the McTaggart lecture a couple of years ago in the Edinburgh TV Festival. I think the misperception of class is that it's about purely a financial, economic status. I reject that entirely. I think it's also a cultural status as well. It's about rituals and behaviours and story and the legacy and of the place and the family that you come from. I now that I have elevated myself out of the economic status of my parents, I feel shame in that. So I no longer use the word I am working class. I say I'm from a working class background. I can't think of any other identifying characteristic where you have to give it up later in life. You don't become less Catholic, you don't become less gay. As you get older, I feel like because of that definition, I have to say I'm less working class. And I get why. So it's a problem of definition. And broadcasters, I think, genuinely are trying to fix this. They are trying to find those underrepresented working class voices and tell those stories. It's a problem of definition, and I don't necessarily know how you solve that except people. We have diversity forms, we have inclusion forms, and I think increasingly you have to take it on trust that people are from the backgrounds that they say they are. And when you don't see that represented in production and on screens, then it's not rocket science to go out and find those voices.
That's really interesting, and I also define myself as somebody from a working class background rather than still saying I'm working class now.